Whispers of a lost empire often conjure images of crumbling columns in Rome, but the true inheritor of Roman power and tradition flourished for another 1,000 years in the East. Far from being a mere remnant, the Byzantine Empire, with its dazzling capital of Constantinople, was a distinct civilization of vibrant tapestry woven from Roman law, Greek culture, and Orthodox Christian faith. For over a millennium, Byzantium stood as a bulwark against invading forces, a beacon of learning and art, and a crucial bridge between East and West. Its unique blend of influences forged an identity unlike any other, preserving classical knowledge while simultaneously innovating in governance, warfare, and theology. But how did this Eastern Roman Empire come into being? What made it so resilient, and what enduring legacies did it leave that shaped not only Eastern Europe, but the very cores of Western civilization? The story of the Byzantine Empire begins not with a new beginning, but with a strategic response to crisis within the Roman Empire. By the 3rd century CE, the vast Roman Empire was in turmoil, reeling from political instability, economic crises, and constant external invasions. Emperor Diocletian reigned to 84 to 305 CE attempted to stabilize the empire by dividing it into eastern and western halves for administrative purposes, a system known as the Tetrarchy. While initially a division of labor, it laid the groundwork for a permanent split. The pivotal moment arrived with Constantine the Great reigned 306 to 337 CE. Recognizing the strategic and economic advantages of the East, he moved the imperial capital from Rome to the ancient Greek city of Byzantium in 330 CE, grandly renaming it Nova Roma New Rome. It soon became known as Constantinople, the city of Constantine. Its superb natural defenses, strategic location controlling trade routes between Europe and Asia, and access to fertile lands made it an ideal imperial center. Crucially, Constantine also legalized Christianity, effectively setting the Roman Empire on a path to becoming a Christian state. When the Roman Empire formally divided into Western and Eastern halves in 395 CE following the death of Emperor Theodosius I, Constantinople became the undisputed capital of the Eastern Roman Empire. While the Western Roman Empire eventually crumbled in 476 CE, succumbing to barbarian invasions, the eastern half, now commonly referred to as the Byzantine Empire, endured. It weathered the storm, maintaining a sophisticated administration, a vibrant economy, and a strong imperial tradition. The 6th century CE marked a golden age for Byzantium under the formidable reign of Emperor Justinian I reigned 527 to 565 CE and his influential wife, Empress Theodora. Justinian harbored an ambitious dream, the reconquest of the lost Western Roman Empire. He dispatched his brilliant general, Belisarius, on campaigns that successfully reclaimed North Africa from the Vandals, Italy from the Ostrogoths, and parts of Spain from the Visigoths. While these conquests were impressive, they were costly and ultimately unsustainable, overextending the empire's resources. Justinian's most enduring legacy, however, was in law. He commissioned the comprehensive codification of Roman law, resulting in the Corpus Juris Civilis body of civil law, often known as Justinian's Code. This monumental work systematized centuries of Roman legal thought, becoming the foundation for legal systems across much of Europe and beyond, influencing civil law to this day. Architecturally, Justinian's reign produced masterpieces, most notably the Hagia Sophia in Constantinople. This colossal church, later a mosque, now a museum, with its massive dome and intricate mosaics, was a breathtaking symbol of Byzantine engineering, artistry, and the profound fusion of imperial and religious authority. Despite his achievements, Justinian's rule was not without challenges. The devastating plague of Justinian swept through the empire in the mid-6th century, killing millions and severely weakening the empire's manpower and economy. The emperor also faced internal dissent, notably the Nika riots in Constantinople, a massive uprising nearly crushing his rule, which was only suppressed through Theodora's courage and Belisarius's military might. The 7th to 9th centuries were a period of intense struggle and profound transformation for the Byzantine Empire. It faced a wave of new threats that drastically reshaped its borders and internal structure. The rapid Arab conquests from the mid-7th century resulted in the permanent loss of vast, wealthy territories, including Egypt, the Levant, Syria, Palestine, and North Africa. Simultaneously, Slavic and Avar incursions severely impacted the Balkans, pushing the empire's frontiers back dramatically. In response to these existential threats, the Byzantines implemented critical military and administrative reforms. The old provincial system was replaced by the theme system, where provinces became military districts themes, governed by a strategos general. Soldiers were given land in exchange for military service, decentralizing defense and creating a strong, localized fighting force crucial for survival. Internally, the empire was gripped by the iconoclasm controversy roughly 726 to 843 CE. This was a fierce religious and political struggle over the veneration of icons' religious images. Emperors, fearing idolatry and seeking to consolidate power, often supported the destruction of icons, while many monks and common people passionately defended their use. This controversy significantly strained relations with the Pope in Rome, who generally opposed iconoclasm, a key military innovation that helped Constantinople survive. Repeated sieges was Byzantine fire, also known as Greek fire. This incendiary weapon, projected from siphons and capable of burning on water, was a closely guarded secret and proved decisive in naval battles, particularly in defending the capital against Arab fleets. By the end of this period, the Byzantine Empire had dramatically shrunk, becoming a more compact state focused primarily on Anatolia, Asia Minor, and Greece. But it had also solidified its unique identity. The Macedonian dynasty 867 to 1057 CE ushered in a period of remarkable resurgence and cultural flourishing. This era saw the empire recover much of its lost strength and territory. Under strong emperors like Basil I, Leo VI, and especially Basil II, known as the Bulgar Slayer, the Byzantines achieved significant military successes. They pushed back against Arab advances in the east, reclaiming parts of Syria, and reasserted control over much of the Balkans, subjugating the Bulgar Empire. This military revival was accompanied by a cultural renaissance, often called the Macedonian Renaissance. There was a renewed interest in classical Greek literature, philosophy, and science. Art and architecture flourished, with new churches and monasteries adorned with dazzling mosaics and frescoes, and a boom in manuscript illumination and scholarship. A monumental achievement of this era was the conversion of the Kievan Rus to Orthodox Christianity in 988 CE under Prince Vladimir of Kiev. This evangelization, primarily from Constantinople, brought Russia and much of Eastern Europe into the sphere of Orthodox Christianity, establishing a lasting cultural and religious bond that endures to this day. However, this period of strength also saw the formal and permanent rupture between the eastern and western branches of Christianity, the Great Schism of 1054. Long-standing theological differences, e.g., the Filioque clause in the Nicene Creed, liturgical variations, and papal claims to universal authority ultimately led to the mutual excommunication of the Patriarch of Constantinople, and the Pope in Rome, creating the distinct Eastern Orthodox Church and Roman Catholic Church. Despite its resurgence, the Byzantine Empire faced new and ultimately insurmountable challenges that led to its slow decline and fragmentation in the 11th through 13th centuries. A major blow came with the Battle of Manzikert in 1071, where the Byzantine army suffered a catastrophic defeat by the Seljuk Turks. This opened the door for Turkish migration into Anatolia, the empire's breadbasket and primary source of manpower. The gradual loss of Anatolia was a mortal wound from which the empire never fully recovered. Compounding its problems was the rise of the Crusades. Initial Byzantine appeals to Western Europe for help against the Seljuks morphed into the Crusader movement. While some crusades offered temporary relief, others proved disastrous for Byzantium. The most catastrophic event was the Fourth Crusade 1204. Instead of marching to the Holy Land, the Crusaders, swayed by Venetian influence and internal Byzantine political squabbles, sacked Constantinople with horrific brutality. They established the short-lived Latin Empire of Constantinople, plunging the Byzantine world into chaos and discrediting Western Christianity in Orthodox size for centuries. Though the Byzantines, under Michael VIII Palaiologos, managed to recapture Constantinople in 1261 and restore the empire, it was a mere shadow of its former self, fragmented, impoverished, and surrounded by powerful enemies. The final centuries, 14th-15th, of the Byzantine Empire were a protracted and agonizing slow demise. The relentless Ottoman Turks emerged as the dominant power in Anatolia and the Balkans, systematically eroding Byzantine territory. Constantinople, once the heart of a vast empire, was reduced to an isolated island in a sea of Ottoman lands. Internal weaknesses, including persistent civil wars among rival Byzantine families and continued economic decline, further sapped the empire's strength. Its population dwindled, and its ability to raise effective armies diminished. Desperate, the last Byzantine emperors made repeated appeals to the West for military aid. However, these appeals were often met with demands for a religious subservience reunion of the churches under papal authority, which was deeply unpopular with the Orthodox clergy and populace. Aid, when it came, was often too little, too late. The end finally came on May 29, 1453, with the epic siege and fall of Constantinople. After a 53-day siege, the city, defended by a mere few thousand men, fell to the overwhelming forces of the Ottoman Sultan Mehmed II. The conquest of Constantinople marked the definitive end of the Byzantine Empire, and with it, the last direct link to the Roman Empire. The legacy of the Byzantine Empire is immense, often underestimated, and profoundly shaped both East and West. It served as a crucial preserver of Roman law and Greek learning. Byzantine scholars meticulously copied and studied classical Greek texts, safeguarding them through the Dark Ages and transmitting them to Western Europe, playing a vital role in fueling the Renaissance. The Byzantines were the primary force in the spread of Orthodox Christianity to Eastern Europe, influencing the religious and cultural identity of nations like Russia, Bulgaria, and Serbia. Their influence on art and architecture is unmistakable, particularly in the dazzling mosaics, iconic religious images, and domed churches that continue to inspire awe for centuries. Byzantium acted as a bulwark against Eastern invasions, absorbing the initial shocks of Arab, Avar, and Slavic incursions, thereby shielding Western Europe and allowing its own distinct development. Finally, the Byzantine Empire stands as a testament to resilience. Its ability to survive for over 1,000 years, adapting and transforming through countless crises, makes it one of the most enduring and fascinating empires in history.